Welcome back. We're speaking with Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister and the Member of Parliament for Tobago East, Minister Ayanna Webster Roy. We are speaking about International Women's Day, and before the break, we talked about what the ministry is doing, and I understand the Prime Minister is having an event coming up as well.
Yes, the Prime Minister would be hosting a roundtable discussion, a breakfast, where various representatives of the women's movement would be at that activity. And it's an opportunity for them to have discussions with various ministers on issues affecting the women's movement and other national issues, but it's hosted by the Honorable Prime Minister. And it's a build-on from something he would have started last year, where he had a breakfast and conversation with the Prime Minister, where the women's groups were represented, and that was quite successful. So
the women's group can look forward to meeting and having a discussion with the Prime Minister as well. And the 5K that you mentioned earlier is scheduled to take place in May?
Yes, definitely May, yes.
Okay. So those are two events that members of the public can look out for. Now, Minister, we want to talk a little bit about you and your life in politics. Why did you get into politics?
I'm very shy by nature, and I never saw myself in politics. However, I have 3 children, and I was becoming concerned with the way Trinidad and Tobago was going, the direction we were heading, and I said if I wanted to make a meaningful impact, that I needed to get out of my comfort zone and enter into the field of politics and try at a higher level of policy formulation. In my former life, I worked as the coordinator of community development in Tobago. It's the position of the director. And I was able to affect some changes in Tobago in terms of the community development level. But I said, if I want to shape the Trinidad and Tobago that my children and other people's children inherit, I need to be able to do it at that national policy-making level. So that would have given me this push to get into politics. It has been a challenging but beautiful journey thus far. I could not have done it without the support of my family, my children, and also the technical team at the Office of the Prime Minister. For a woman, life as a politician could be very difficult. People tend to be harder on you. Sometimes I feel that people in Trinidad and Tobago don't really respect the view of a female politician as much as they would a male politician. Sometimes I get that feeling. The support that I receive from my colleagues, the support I receive from the Honorable Prime Minister is quite meaningful. It helps me as a young person, a young politician, navigate the whole process of, the MP role, the Member of Parliament role, and also the ministerial role. People think it's glamorous. It's not glamorous. There is no glamour in traveling back and forth almost every day, hardly getting to sleep, hardly getting to see your children. There's no glamour in that, but the satisfaction comes from the change you're able to affect. The satisfaction comes from seeing, the development that takes place within your communities and your own constituency. The satisfaction comes from, the children. You see when you implement a program and you see the children benefiting from it, you say, you know what, those long nights, it really worth it. The hours away from a family, it really worth it. When you see the meaningful changes that happen in Trinidad and Tobago.
But it is difficult for you to balance.
It is difficult to balance at times, but as I said, I have a very strong support network. I have to give my husband credit. I have to big up Mr. Roy, honestly, because without his support and, his ability to sacrifice for me to be able to pursue my dreams, it would have been a failure from the onset. He can cook, he can do everything. He's quite talented.
You see? So nothing emasculating about being able to cook and clean the house.
Yes.
So that's a good message to the males out there. Listen to the minister. Go learn to cook, learn to clean. It might work out in your favor.
And he balances all of that while still doing his professional career. So, and then you see that bond with the children. Especially with girls, they tend to be close to their mummies growing up a lot. And now you see that balance. So there are certain things they'll run to mommy for, and then certain things they'll go to daddy for. So it's really a beautiful balance in the home.
Are you satisfied with the makeup of the current parliament? You see over the years more and more females being placed in positions.
We are happy for the numbers we have, but we could be better represented. There could be more women in the House of Representatives. And I have to give kudos to my political leader and Prime Minister for the opportunities he gave to young women. I mean, there are quite a few of us there sitting in the House of Representatives, and even those of my cabinet colleagues, some of them are quite young, and I really want to give him, you know, commendation for really reaching out and embracing the young people in Trinidad and Tobago and making them a part of his team.
Why not have the older politicians just stay and do the job? Why do we need the younger people to come in? They don't have much experience.
You know what? We need a balance. We always need a balance. The older ones may have the experience, but then the younger ones, we bring a new perspective. And then we bring a more contemporary view of what is happening. Our approach to representation may be different. So before, you would have hardly found MPs on Facebook and, you know, have that kind of direct link. Now my constituents reach out to me and we communicate via, if it's Facebook, it's Twitter, it's different things. So, you know, that's the way young people connect and reach out nowadays. And all a person is something they're getting used to. So it brings the balance. We have the mature ones, the experience in terms of processes and all of that, and then the younger ones, the balance in terms of how you interact with your constituents and how you reach out and engage.
As a woman, with the exception of seeing a greater balance, what else do you want to see?
I want to see, in terms of politics and in terms of the role of women, I would like to see women support women more. We tend to be our harshest critics. I'm reflecting on something that happened on Facebook recently. I was with Fayan, and I'm thinking, most of the people making the nastiest comments were women. And why it is that we can't just celebrate, hey, look at this sister, she's getting somewhere, she's doing things, she's making herself known internationally, she's representing Trinidad and Tobago. She's helping in terms of our cultural tourism thrust. Celebrate that, but we tend to focus on the negative. I want to encourage women to really be each other's champion. Yes, there's a role for men to play in terms of promoting us, but we have to be the ones to be our own cheerleaders. We have to be the ones to carry that message and to really support and boost each other.
Why do you think women fight down each other?
Oh my God, how do we start to even explain that? Sometimes it's jealousy. You know, it's just like with men. Why do men fight each other down? Sometimes it's the same thing. Sometimes it's jealousy, sometimes it's wanting to be in that same space. And sometimes it's just a matter of not understanding, appreciating that you could get to that same place once you try hard enough, once you make full use of the services and resources available, once you ask for help when you need help. Because a lot of the times, people don't get to move out of their circumstances and the situation because they don't know how to ask for help or to say, I don't know, and get the help and the assistance you need. So I think that's part of it, you know, women just not understanding how to really navigate this life in a way that you could move to the next level while knowing if I'm at the top, there's enough room for all of us to be here. It doesn't have to mean that if I get there, somebody else can't access the same space and share it with me.
Are you enjoying the politics?
Some days I thoroughly enjoy it. Some days, you know, I get up and it's like, wow, this is the best job ever. And then some days it's like, oh my gosh, what did I get myself into? But by and large, it's been a very fulfilling experience, very fulfilling.
What advice would you give to young women who may want to get into politics?
Really know yourself. Get grounded. Build you first. Because if you enter into politics and you're not grounded, you don't know who you are, then you could get lost in the system, or you could be consumed by all the negative energies that comes with it. Because social media has presented a platform where your critics get to you quite easily. And sometimes some of the comments could be so damaging that if you're not grounded, you could be really, really damaged inside. You could get hurt. So know yourself, be grounded. Whatever God you pray to, pray. Seek that spiritual support so that you'll be able to navigate the field of politics and be successful with it.
And your final message to women around Trinidad and Tobago?
let's press for progress and let us continue as activists in the urban and rural setting to really work for the development of all women in Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you very much for joining us, Minister Ayanna Webster Roy.
It was a pleasure.
It was an interesting discussion to hear your perspectives on development and where you want to see things go in Trinidad and Tobago, and a commitment that the national gender policy may be coming very, very soon. So something to look forward to. Minister, again, I want to wish you and all women in Trinidad and Tobago a happy International Women's Day.